In a world that's just buzzing with new tech all the time, it can be really tough to figure out what's next. It feels overwhelming, right? That's why today we're going to cut through all that noise. We're on a journey to boil down a super complex vision of the future into one simple, powerful idea.
Think about it like you're a climber, staring up at this massive cliff face. To get to the top, you need a clear route, a solid plan. Investing in technology, it's pretty much the same thing. There's so much noise, so many options. So how in the world do you find that one clear path to the summit? Well, let's figure it out together.
So our climb starts by figuring out the single most powerful force in tech right now. And that, without a doubt, is artificial intelligence. But AI is a huge, sprawling field. So the first part of our strategy is to zoom in, to pinpoint the absolute core of this revolution, the companies that are leading the charge.
And here's where the core idea really starts to take shape. Instead of trying to bet on everything, the thinking is to concentrate on the handful of companies that are way out in front. We're talking about the Magnificent Seven. Companies like Apple, Alphabet, Microsoft, NVIDIA. These are the giants, the ones with the money, the talent, and the power to really own this space.
This right here isn't just a strategy, it's that moment of clarity. It's our climber finding that first solid handhold. This idea becomes the foundational bet, that for the next few years, the real value from AI is going to be captured by these huge dominant players. It's a bold move, for sure, but it gives us a focused place to start our climb.
Okay, so we have our who, the big tech leaders in AI. But the next really important question is when, because this whole strategy really hinges on a specific moment in time. You could call it a tipping point, when all this future talk actually becomes a reality. And that year is 2026. Now, according to the source material we're looking at, this is not some random date pulled out of a hat. No, this is the year the AI revolution is predicted to stop being this abstract thing happening in data centers and start becoming a tangible, physical part of our everyday lives, and in a really big way.
Which is a fair question, right? Why 2026? Why not 2025? Or 2030 for that matter? What is supposed to happen that makes this year the summit of our climb, the moment when that view of the future becomes crystal clear? Well, the answer comes down to two specific world-changing breakthroughs. And here they are, the two big pillars holding up this 2026 idea. First, we're talking about the maturation of full self-driving, or FSD. This means cars that can operate all on their own, completely changing how we get around forever. And second, the arrival of actual, functional humanoid robots, moving out of the lab and into the real world. These two things together represent AI physically interacting with and reshaping our planet. So we've got the players, we've got the tipping point, and now this whole vision comes down to a very real, very concrete choice. It's a choice that really puts everything into perspective. It's a choice about what we, as a society, are going to value next.
And really, it all boils down to a clash between two completely different ways of thinking. On one side, you have the autonomous electric vehicle. It's basically a computer on wheels, right? Its value is all about its software, its intelligence. On the other side, you've got the good old internal combustion car, a masterpiece of mechanical engineering, sure, but its value is defined by its hardware, its performance, and the skill of the person behind the wheel.
This brings our entire thought journey right to the very peak. We started with this huge, broad question about the future of tech. Then we narrowed it down to a focused bet on AI leaders, pinpointed a specific tipping point, and now we've landed on a direct comparison between two products. It all comes down to one last, really powerful question. And this is the question this whole journey leaves us with. It's not just about what kind of car you'd rather have. It's much bigger than that. It's a question about the future itself. Is the value we're looking for going to come from intelligent systems that do things for us, or from the traditional tools that empower us to do things ourselves? The answer to that question could very well define the next decade of technology.